Hey, will you let me know when it's 5 o'clock? Oh, that's what I meant, 6 o'clock. Never mind, I got a thing on here. It's Thursday. Hope you guys are having a wonderful week. It has been a beautiful day here in Oklahoma, and I have been working today. And I got home and I put everything together. I've been busy. So it's so good to see you guys tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about, obviously, the block along, but I kind of wanted to hear from you tonight, see how things are going, how your first block went. Hopefully, some of you, I think, have started. I'm starting to see a few little things on Instagram pop up where you guys are getting going with your blocks. So I can't wait to see all of that come together. It has been a crazy week. So I am going to show you guys a couple of things, but first, before we get too deep, make sure you like and subscribe so that when you get busy and you forget, it'll notify you that I'm going live or that I'm posting new videos. So make sure that you do that, because shoot, I have to do that or I would never remember. I would never know what I was doing. So we're going to talk a little bit again about Harriet's journey tonight. But one of the great things about a block along is that we're going to kind of share different things about the blocks itself. And some of this stuff is just translatable to other things that you're working on. So even if you're not joining us with the block along, hopefully you're going to pick up some tips and tricks. I've heard several people talking about how they have started starching. It's the first time they've ever starched before. And that's so fun because, I mean, I love to starch. Of course, you guys know how much I love to starch. But you're also picking up new tools. The simple folded corners ruler from Doug Lico. I mean, you guys are doing all the fun stuff and you're learning those, and you didn't have to do the block along to learn those things. So, but I want to kind of give you guys some tips and tricks tonight for block number 2, which is coming up. So County Fair is the second block in the block along, and it is on page 28. It's block B10. And I told you last week that I've just decided it's really simple for me to just see how they're, doing their colors and all those things. And I'm just trying to follow along and do something very similar. So for the second block, this one is kind of in that red, white, and blue theme, that dusty blue. And so those are the colors that I used in mine. And so I didn't really change much there. But I want to give you some tips as we go along. Everybody's getting the simple. Awesome. Doug's a genius, and everybody's taking advantage of that ruler. So that's awesome. I'm very excited for you guys. So anyway, I'm going to get into some tips and tricks for this second block. And if you have not started, I'm going to hopefully give you some ideas on how to do this. The instructions, you can follow right along and do the instructions out of the book just the way they're written. And that is totally fine. You do not have to do what I did, because you can just do you. You do whatever you want. But I'm going to tell you what I did to make things simple. And one of the things that I like to do on the front end is I try to go read through the whole pattern, make sure you understand all the instructions before you start cutting anything, before you start deciding how you're going to put it together, because sometimes you like to put together half square triangles differently, or you might want to do Y seams differently. And so there's always a different way to do things than it's in all the patterns. So here's what I did. So on the first part that I was looking at, so it tells you to put the A together, and it's building out, basically it's building out your half square triangles. And the half square triangles in this pattern finish at, they're a 1.5 inch finished. And so actually unfinished. And so it'd be a 1 inch finish. So these are small, right? They're going to be a small block. So I want to show you kind of what I've been doing, just so you can kind of get an idea of it. I use H100 triangle paper on a roll. This is Fat Quarter Shop has this. It's on a roll, and they have these little stickers too. I don't know if you can see that very well. Yeah. So it's got these little stickers. It's just triangles on a roll. It's a half square triangle. This is the H100 triangle paper. You can get this. There's Lisa Bonjean has some triangle paper as well, but I really like Kimberly Jolly, Fat Quarter Shop's triangle paper. And I store them in a little bucket. I'll maybe show you guys that next time. But for this one, you're just going to cut off 4 of these little blocks, and that's going to make your 8 half square triangles that you're going to need for the pattern. And you just take your fabric right sides together, put that triangle paper on the top, and you're going to sew along those dotted lines. And it's so easy. It just makes it so simple. You don't have a lot of waste. You don't have to trim up. You just sew on the line. And then when you're finished, you're going to use your rotary cutter or your scissors. You could use either one. And you're going to cut on the solid line. So that's what I did for A. So when you're looking at the pattern, the AA with the half square triangles, it ends up making an hourglass block. That's what I did. So I just used H100 paper. So hopefully that's a great tip for you, and that you can take that and make it a lot faster for you, because these are little pieces. So when you're ending up with a 1 inch half square triangle, it makes it so much easier to use foundation paper. So that's my first tip. My second tip is this. So on page 97 in your book, there's a template, and it's template C. My biggest tip for this is going to be print to. I used foundation paper for this, and it comes in your book. So I printed out on, you can use copy paper, any kind of paper, just like what we have here. But what I did was I made sure to use foundation paper, the template on this one, because it just made it so much easier. And I don't have a picture of that. I don't know why I didn't take a picture. I was in the processes of printing things, but print to. And the reason I'm telling you print to is because next week's block uses the same template. So just go ahead and print yourself 2, and then you don't have to go back to your copier or anything, and you can do it that way. Or you can use your light box, and I'm going to show you. That's my second tip for the week. I've been using the Cutterpillar. If you guys don't have a light box, oh my gosh, I was telling Rochelle this week, I was like, why do I not ever like pull my light box out? And this one is so easy. This one is a mini. It's the Cutterpillar light board that's the mini. And I absolutely love this thing. And it's super, super, super bright. I don't know if it'll turn on. It's charged, but oh no, it's not. You have to have it plugged in. But you can use these magnets on the back, on the front, to hold your little pieces in place, and it has these magnets on the back, so you just put these on the back. See how that works right there? Oh, it's fantastic. So if you don't have a copier but you have a light box, that works. So I highly recommend it. You can just trace over those images on your light box onto a piece of paper and use that as your template, and you're good to go. So I think that is one of my biggest tips, because I've been using my light box like crazy lately. So anyway, that has been a huge, huge, huge help. But print 2, it's template C on page 97. And then finally, Y seams. So if you've not made Y seams, or you're not comfortable with Y seams, and it's so intimidating. I think I hear people talk about Y seams, and it's like, when I first started sewing, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't need to be making Y seams. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't need to touch that. I just need to avoid those patterns altogether. Y seams are not a big deal, you guys. So if you're nervous about Y seams, don't be. I posted a video on how to do Y seams, but I'm going to go into a little bit more detail tonight about this pattern specifically. So you'll notice on, when you get down to, step number 6, it starts talking about the economy block, basically is what we just talked about, the center square. But on step 7, it's talking about template E, and template E is in the back of your book as well. So you're going to just, print off a template E. So I'm going to give you a couple little tips on this. This is the template E. And what I did was I measured how large this strip was going to be. So these strips ended up being 1.5-inch strips. So cut yourself some 1.5-inch strips. I think I cut one just with the fabric, 1.5-inch strips. And then this piece right here on this side, this length is 2 7/8 from this point to the end. So this is 2 7/8. And I'm going to show you, let me pull this up, because I think this will make a lot more sense. I'm going to pull this up for you. So you're going to see I'm using like my 3.5-inch ruler. It doesn't really matter as long as it has this 45-degree angle on your ruler. You'll notice I've got that angle right on the line, and it's going to give me that edge to cut. So if you don't have a template, that's okay. Or if templates scare you to death, cut yourself a 1.5-inch strip, and then you can cut these pieces at 2 7/8 inches long. And then you're going to line up your ruler on that angled edge, and then trim here. Does that make sense? I hope that made sense. This made it a lot faster for me than having to sit there and mess around with the template. I usually will take something like this, measure it out, and go, hey, is there any way I can do that with just a ruler versus this? This is how I did it. So again, you're going to cut your strips, 1.5-inch strips, cut your pieces at 2 7/8, right? And then you're going to put that long angle on your long side, and then you're going to trim off the angle. Hoping that made sense. But I do everything I can to avoid using these. Ask Rochelle. She's like, oh Lord, it's going to have a template. She's going to lose her mind. But I really wanted to make sure that I kind of talked through that a little bit. But I will post this picture on Instagram too. But please feel free to reference this video. But here's how I prove to myself. Like once I cut it, I go and I prove to myself, did this work? and I take it and I put that little piece on top of the template. And yes, it did. So this gives you kind of an idea. This is getting your Y seams prepped and ready to go. So don't be afraid of templates. I don't like templates all the time. So that's why I do this. So take your templates anytime and measure. I'm going to be doing that again in next week's video. I'll be showing you guys some tips and tricks on another template, but I am always going to use a ruler if I can use a ruler instead. So those are my big tips for that. Any questions so far? I was kind of going, I feel like I went fast and I repeated, but I wanted to make sure everybody was feeling good about that. Works great. Exactly what awesome, Jenna. That's awesome. Okay. Yeah. Much easier than the template. I think it is. Anytime you have those kinds of things, measure it out, see if you're able to do it with a ruler, because I think it's super fun. Okay, I am going to get into some details on the Y seams though. Well, it's not adding. Let's see if I can get it to go. There we go. Y seams are not a big deal, you guys. I don't want you to be scared of them. What you need to do is I take my right sides together just like we do with everything else. But on that short side, you're going to draw a 1/4 inch. And then on the angle, you're going to draw a 1/4 inch. And wherever that meets, you're going to have that little dot. I always put a dot. I don't know why. I think it's just like in my head, like if I put a dot, by golly, my pen, it's like my needle is going to go right in that dot. And I know it. So I always put a little dot there just to kind of remind myself, this is where I've got to put my needle. And so that's when you'll take it over to the machine. And you're going to drop your needle right there in that corner and you're going to sew off. And I know that sometimes it feels kind of weird to start in a spot like that, but trust me, if you're able just to sew off and you're going to do this on both sides, but once you do this, you do the short side first, and then you finger press that over to one side. I wonder if I have a picture of that. Let me see. This is kind of what it looks like when you've sewn it. So you're going to sew the short side first, flip it over, and then you're going to start adding your background fabric. I do have a video that I have posted on YouTube, so make sure you check that out. It's just called Y seams. Super simple. And you'll be able to see where I add the background fabric. I don't have that picture here, but that's okay. You don't need it. On the back though, you know what? I'm going to add, let me see if I can add that picture. You guys, I'm winging some of this tonight, and I know that you're all my friends, so you're just happy that I'm here. Okay, I'm going to show you this picture. This is what it looks like from the back. Ignore my little strings. I needed to trim those. But you're going to notice that's why it's called a Y. You're going to take those short sides. After you take the short sides on your blue fabric, you're going to match that short side of your background to your angles. And that's where you're going to go next. Okay, so when it's done, that's what your Y seam looks like. And so it looks like a Y. And it's just not that hard, you guys. I promise. Practice. Get some practice. Get some scrap fabric around and cut and test it out and see if you can get the hang of it. Once you do 1 or 2 of them, it gets really fast and you're like, oh my gosh, I can make Y seams for anything. So just jump in there and give it a whirl. I think that you will find that it's so much easier than you thought it was. And when it's finished, it's going to look like this. So there's the first 2 blocks, you guys. That second one, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to take this off the screen and I'll just show it to you. Look how cute. Look how cute that is. Oh, so good. And this is as stiff as a board, you guys, and it's because of the Acorn pressing. Oh my gosh, this stuff is just amazing. It's so good. That fabric is so cute. Yeah, it is so cute. Okay, what is the line? Who remembers my line? You guys have been working with so much fabric lately. Now I've even forgotten the line of my own fabric. How bad is that? That is pretty terrible. If you know this, drop it in. Where's my friend Kara? She's sewing with something very similar. Anyway, darling, love it. Poppie Cotton. Thank you. Home sweet home. That's what it is. Poppie Cotton. Home sweet home. Thank you, Jan. Man, what would we do without our quilty friends to just save the day? Anyways, thank you, Jan. Poppie Cotton, home sweet home. That's the line. So you'll notice it's not exactly red, white, and blue, the same tones, but it is red, white, and blue. So if you're, just like, oh my gosh, I don't know what colors to use and I don't want to have to think about it, don't worry about it. Just follow what's in the book. It makes it super easy. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Jan. Oh my heavens. Terrible. I'm having one of those senior moments. Okay. I don't know who it was. If it was somebody on live stream last week that told me about these. And if it was you, just drop in the comments that it was you. These are paint, like they're paint pens. And I got these on Amazon. Somebody told me to get these and I can't find that Instagram message to save my life. I ordered these and you guys, holy cow. I will put a link to these in the description. These will be, I'll put them in my Amazon store. But you fill these up with that Acorn pressing mist and oh my heavens. So you take this off and then it comes with this little dropper thing that just you can use to put your stuff in, and holy moly, it's a little it's like a paint pen. And I use this, I run it on my seams and press. Oh, it's so good. You guys, Rochelle and I are like in love. Like we are in love with this stuff. It is insane. And it's hilarious. What's hilarious is we were talking about this on the podcast this week. It'll be on Saturday, but I'm like, you would think that they are literally like paying us to talk about this, but they're not. Like, it's just so amazing. Anyway, I can't stress enough. That stuff is amazing. And I've been asked, well, would you not starch? If you use that, do you not starch? So I'm always going to starch. I'm pretty sure. Rochelle and I talked about this again. Like, you'll hear this on the podcast this weekend, but holy cow. Oh, you want a demo on the paint? This is it. That's it. Like, I just paint it on here and press. It's just insane. So good. It's so good. And if you've used like a chalk pen, I know we have all used like paint pens at some point. This presses. Like if you press, the liquid will come down into the little marker. And you just use it like a marker on the seam. And it's just like, holy cow. It's just mind blowing. So I cannot tell you. I will make sure I post this. I'll post all of that stuff in the description tonight so that you can go out and grab it for yourself, because holy cow, it's so good. Okay. I think I've showed you all the things. Does anybody have any questions? Somebody said question about starch. What ratio do you use for starch to water? Oh, okay. I use it. I'm always 60-40. So I'm about 60% starch to 40% water. I like it more starchy than not. So is it used after you're sewing pieces together? Yes. So I use this. So I'm going to starch my fabric like I always do. But this is after you sew them. I don't know if you can you see how flat these seams are? It's kind of scary. Look at this. Can y'all see that? This thing it's so full. I think so. One of my friends said that it's freaky. It's like freaky. It's like a freaky spray. I don't know. And it is freaky. My mom's bingo marker. Yes, that's what it's exactly kind of like that. That's kind of hilarious. Will you please link the half square triangle paper? Yes, I will link all these things that I used. I will link all of that stuff in descriptions tonight so that you guys can you guys can have it. I ordered the sprayer and it's wonderful for starching. Yet the garden sprayer is incredible. It will make everything go so much faster. I know there were some people that have used Faultless, and I used Faultless for a long time, and then I just didn't really love the aerosol smell. The Stay Flow or Linnet it doesn't smell like you just use the garden sprayer and you don't really smell anything. Also, Acorn, I've been asked if it smells. It does not smell at all. It has no odor at all. So happy. Thank you, Patty. Ordered the spray. Let's see, 100 acre. Oh, isn't it so? My 100 acre quilt is coming together. I'm so close. I'm gonna probably finish it this weekend. So stay tuned. I will be posting some pictures of that on Saturday. Well, it's probably Sunday. Let's be real, because it's a lot to finish. Most finishings, and it's so funny. I talked to Rochelle about this a long time ago too. I'm like, I really should, like, if I had the option, I like to start with the finishing part, so that the finishing part is done. So when I'm finished with all the blocks, then I can just put it all together. And I did not do that. So that's fine. It's fine. It's whatever. Okay. I am going to, let's see. I am going to do a giveaway. And so we've got a giveaway from last week. And last week's, if you recall, it's the She Who Sews. And I've got a few other little goodies to give away. I'm going to throw in my friends from Missouri Star. Gave you a little keychain, some buttons, because, my friend Rochelle loves buttons. And I've got a cinnamon and cream fig tree ribbon, which, gosh, I love fig tree. Who doesn't love fig tree? So I'm going to show you who the winner is. And I think she's on here tonight. So if you're on here, make sure you message me. Send me a DM on Instagram if you don't mind. But tonight's winner is Miss Kimberly. Kimberly Gwinnett, you're the big winner. So send me your address so that I can ship this out to you. I'm super excited. Krista, I saw you on earlier. So I hope you got your package by now, hopefully. Mail is so weird these days. I don't know. It's like, I can't ever tell, like, if something's getting somewhere on time or not. So, anyways, make sure you follow me if you're not on Instagram, you can, I think you can still message me here. So, yay, yes. Okay, yeah, good. Krista got her things. That makes me happy. I'm so happy. So tonight we're going to do I'm going to give everybody, every week we'll have some kind of fun giveaway. This one's a really good one. Not that the others weren't, because they were. I only give away good stuff. So this week, tell me what your favorite notion is. So if you know anything about me, or you listen to any of the podcasts, or you follow me on Instagram, you know that I love me some notions. Love them. Debbie Davis, are you still able to get Stay Flow? I think you can, but I think it's super expensive now. So I get Linnet. Like, you can get Linnet on Amazon. So, or Debbie, you can come over and I'll give you a bottle of my Stay Flow. Only if you come and see me, though. That's the only way. Because I miss you. I miss my friend Debbie. So this week, if you're the winner, so I need to know, what's your favorite notion? Notion, the newest, latest one. That's so me. Oh my gosh, it's so me. I'm going to give away. Man, I can't believe I'm going to give this away. I'm going to give away a Jolly Bar. And it's coriander. Coriander Quilts, Miss Corioder. And it is the Sun-Washed collection. And holy cow, I love this. Can you guys see how cute that is? This is perfect for spring. So I'm going to give away a Jolly Bar. And I'll also give away some goodies to go with it. But I'd seen some of you like, you were like, oh my gosh, Coriander Quilts is my favorite designer. Corey Yoder's my favorite. She's fantastic. I love her stuff. But anyway, drop in comments what your favorite notion is. I can't wait to read all the comments because sometimes you guys will have things that I'm like, oh, I haven't heard of that. And of course, I'm going to need that. I saw somebody say their purple thing. And of course, I've got like 3 of those because, oh my gosh, I love them. Oh, I'm already, see, I can't do this because I'm sitting here reading all of your comments right now. And I just want to go buy all that stuff because, or if I already have it, it's just, ugh. Let's see what else you have in here. Oh, a good seam ripper. What's your favorite seam ripper? Mine's the Clover one, the white one. It's just the best. I love, love, love it. Love it. Stripology ruler. Oh, micro tip scissors. Blade saver thread cutter. All the good stuff. Oh, anyway, I love me some notions. And it's so funny when my friends and I, when we go to quilt shops, you know, they'll head to the fabric. I head straight to the notion wall because I can't help myself. I mean, if I can find a new treat, a new toy, some kind of little trinket, I got them all. And then I have a lot of notions. So anyways, so anyway, there we go. One thing I'm actually just getting ready to start, I'll kind of share a little secret with you. I'm hoping you guys, if you're an HOA person, I don't know, my husband, if he hears me, he's going to be like, don't talk about the HOA. HOAs make me crazy, and I just want to do what I want to do, and they just don't let you do whatever you want to do. And I understand that it keeps your neighborhood nice when you have an HOA, blah, 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 blah. But you guys are going to get to hear me vent tonight. This is just what this is for. It's my live stream, so I get to do whatever I want. And then you guys can chime in if I'm wrong. But I want to add on to our house. And I told my husband has the comments tonight, and he just said, don't talk about the HOA. Hilarious. He's in another room, so he can't stop me. Anyways, HOA, they want to just rule the world, and they want to tell me when to trim my, my plants in the backyard, and I don't know. It just drives me crazy. He did hear me. He's so terrible. Anyway, I'm thinking about adding on to my house, our house, not my house, our house. I really want to build a big fat quilt studio. And I'm so excited about it. But what if the HOA doesn't let me do it? I will die. I think I will just, it will just make me cringe. I will probably have to sell my house and leave, because if they say I can't do that, it will just make me crazy. So anyways, P. Peterson, you are with me on the HOA problems. Yeah, for sure. It just makes me crazy. HOAs are awful. They are. Abolish the HOA. You are my people. You are my people. Add on to it if HOA don't let you do it, move. For sure. It's a life or death matter. You're right, Krista. I just want more space. I want more space. This studio's done great, but I'm just really ready for, Debbie Davis. What did you say? Oh, it's all your fault. I'm going to tell John that it's your fault, Debbie, that you've put me in this situation. And just knock out a wall to the room next to your sewing room. I would, but it's a bathroom. I don't think I could do that, Sarah. But so I'm going to go out. Hopefully I'm going to add big fat studio, and then my friends can come over and sew with me, or I can put a long arm in there. I've never long armed, but my friend Angela Walters, I bet she can show me. Going through the window. I am going through the window. That's right. So anyway, here's what I want to know. If you have ideas or things that you've got a studio and you wish you had done something differently, I want to know. They monitor everything you do. I know, Peggy. terrible. HOAs are horrible. Don't like the HOAs. I know. They're terrible. I wish. Have Angela handle the HOA, please. For sure. They're just, okay. If you saw my backyard, we did a big backyard project. And we're coming up on my 30-minute. I tell you guys, I will only keep you for 30 minutes, 30, 45 minutes. But I just have to say this. So we were doing our backyard project, which was a big project. And I come home from work and my husband says, oh, such and such, I won't say her name on here in case she ever watches this, with the HOA stopped by the house today. And I'm like, for what? And he said she needed to see the backyard and what we were doing in the backyard. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Here's what I would have said, because I'm spicy. I can be spicy. I would have said, well, here's what we're doing. We're increasing the value of everybody else's homes around here because that's what's happening in the backyard today. Oh, it drives me bananas. So, and here's another funny thing. Oh my gosh. I know that the HOA rules are like, you can't have a trailer or anything parked, which I do appreciate some of that. But I know not to like park my trailer in my driveway or whatever. And so I'm shook. Oh my gosh, HOAs are so terrible. So it's so funny because when we go camping, my husband and I will go get the camper and we'll bring it to the house before we go camping, and we leave it overnight in the street because we pack it up, and then that way we just head out in the morning. We don't have to go all the way to go pick up our camper and all that stuff. And so I know that it's going to happen and I don't want to hear about it. And so my neighbor, Matt, I will use his name because he's funny. I always will post on the HOA Facebook page. Hello. I'm just telling my neighbor, Matt Willis, that I'm parking my trailer out in the street. And cousin Eddie, he's not in there. It's empty, so you don't have to worry. But I will always post that stuff right on the HOA page. I'm terrible. And my husband's like, why do you always have to post on the HOA page? And I'm like, because I just can't help myself. Because when they post things, it just makes me crazy. And I just can't handle it. You guys, I can't handle it. Okay. I said enough. He's probably not gonna, I don't know. He's not gonna be very happy with me tonight. When I get off of here, he's gonna be like, hey, no more HOA talk on live streams. Doreen, now I love you even more. I love you guys too. Now you know the rest of the stories Paul Harvey would say, but anyway, I cannot handle it. So anyways, I hope you guys had fun tonight. I'm gonna let you get back to your families. 30, somebody said 30 minutes is not enough. Oh, here comes my husband. He's being very sweet. Oh, look at you. You guys, my husband took over and he's like saying hit like and all that. I mean, I don't know if you're going to like tonight's or not. I hope you felt like you got enough tips and tricks tonight to make it worthy. It's so terrible. Everything you said about HOAs is true. It's so true, you guys. Maybe I should start a hate HOA live stream. I don't know. Then we probably will have to leave the neighborhood. So anyways, I hope you guys had a good time tonight. I had a great time and I can't wait to see you guys again next week. Go make something beautiful, something pretty, but get your blocks done and make sure you post me, like tag me. I want to see your blocks as you start getting them finished. So make sure you tag me, like and subscribe, notify, ring the bell. I will see you guys next week.